There's pizza, pizza.
Living here is quite different from other places I've lived where people are just in their own houses and it's all very separate. Before living here, we lived in a little cottage just outside Cologne for 5 years. You do really get used to living in a caravan, and when you go and live in a house or you go and stay in a house, it feels quite claustrophobic really. You know, we've got a lot of windows and we've got very thin walls, and you know what the weather is without having to go outside. We met at the Sculpture Studios in Glasgow. And I was quite grubby looking, which I think you liked that, didn't you? I definitely wouldn't be able to do the work I've been doing unless I was in a place like this. I always quite like the idea of a musical machine. So that you can have acoustic instruments with mechanical parts that help you play them. But you get the chance to interact with the machine, so you're still in there, and the machine then becomes like another musician. It's like you're playing with someone else. The way I make my instruments, I do this thing where I make sure that it's impossible for me to ever be entirely in control of what they're doing, so that I can be surprised and I still have to be on my toes and react to what's coming out of the instruments. And then that feels interesting for me. It feels the possibilities of it are still wide. I was trained to make things, and I'm very comfortable making things. And if I hadn't been a musician, I would probably be working on a building site, making houses or making something in a factory. That's who I feel I am, as a maker. I seem to be able to make whatever I want to out of the junk that I've collected. It's bizarre. It's magic. It seems to be like magic. See these boxes? They're the small things that you need in here. For instance, wheels. You should never walk past a wheel. But there's another side of me that's, I feel like I want to be on stage. You know, if I ever go and see anything, you know, a show or anything, and I just think, this is fair enough, but why am I sitting out here and I should be up there? That's so, I've got that thing of wanting to be on stage. And it does a nice range of sounds. Does some sound effects like creaky doors. And it does sort of doom. I sometimes play in school assemblies because I work a lot with teaching children to make musical instruments. And I have been known to be going full on playing something which I think sounds rather good. And then I'll look up and the whole school will be just sitting like this, covering their ears. But I think they sort of like it at the same time, because it's not all familiar or easy sounds. It's a mixture. And as I'm pedalling, these pumps are pumping air down those tubes and into that inner tube. Now that works like a bagpipe, so the air becomes pressurized the more I pedal. And I've got switches here and I can let it up into these trumpets. It feels like a very kind of mutually supportive place to live. And it's not like a commune, but there's an awful lot of neighbourly activity that goes on. It ticks all the boxes really about the best possible way of living in the country, because I think you feel quite isolated otherwise, and because of this community it really sustains itself. we just decided to move into a holiday camp type scenario, so that we're always on holiday. We don't need to go away on holiday, do we?